Good evening. Welcome to Tanster News Tonight, where we obsess about Napoleon in all forms. So, as I've been saying every night, we're dealing with the most important issue imaginable if you're me. Anything to do with Napoleon is the most important thing to me, always. It's all I think about. It's true. Anyway, is he among us? And if he's among us, I have to talk to him. If he is among us, if I'm right about everything, I've been trying to prove for years that Napoleon was a wonderful person. It is a travesty to humanity that he was removed from power by the people who are in power now. It's the same dynasty. Of course, it's not the same people, it's the same dynasty. The people that slowly poisoned and murdered Napoleon and pretended it was natural causes and created every situation to finagle him into house arrest and to accomplish his murder while pretending it was natural causes, while he was sending a message to everybody everywhere, don't be like Napoleon, because they tortured him to death. The whole time in St. Helena, he was saying, please do me a favor and shoot me. That would be wonderful. Thank you. The English government is going to be viewed as extremely cowardly and evil from now on. That's what Napoleon said. I'm paraphrasing, but he's saying if the English government would just shoot him, they would at least show a little energy and courage. And instead, they did this sneaky house arrest, lying to everybody through the media approach. And that's how you know we are living under the same exact dynasty that slowly, cruelly murdered a wonderful man, a great genius, a gift to humanity, not arguable. And now I have been finagled into house arrest. I have been framed as a threat to the public health when, as you can see, I'm perfectly healthy. I have actually regained my health, and their story left my mother dead. So their stories are to kill people and to frame good people. And this is a horrible discrimination against me as an honest person. They have tried and tried and tried to either fool me or turn me into a liar. Well, you know what? I have been fooled many, many times, unfortunately, but I'm getting a lot harder to fool lately. And that's their problem. They would prefer to fool me into lying to the public or fool me into betraying humanity. That would be plan A. Plan B is bribery and threats and coming to my house and hiring people to bang pots and bringing people literally to bring psyops to my door. And that's what they do because they run psyops. Okay? The people that run Ukraine are the same as the people that run Russia. Okay? It's the same people. These are psyops. Are they killing people? I'm sure they're killing people. That's how these psyops work. I did reporting on this about how runs Ukraine and Russia. Okay? Same rulers. This is to distract people. This is to get people unhappy. It's to scare people. It's to kill people. Okay? These are psyops. These are publicity stunts. When I see little flags all over my neighborhood, I think, oh, who paid for those little flags? No one's exactly. Recognize a publicity campaign. And they are very, very expensive, and only the richest people in the world can fund these massive publicity campaigns. And if they are spending so much of that precious Ponzi scheme money on a psyop, it's because they think they're going to make a lot of money, okay? They do not put out investments if they don't think it's going to be very lucrative for them, or they're not going to get things that they want, like countries and resources. And they do all of these things through lying. Okay, that's how they do it. They're fantastic liars. So they are weaving this lie around me that I am a threat to other people's health and I should be permanently quarantined. And now, clearly, they have created this story to frame me because they want to send a message. Don't be like her. See, we just came up with this big lie. We had all the money to push it through. And then we had all of these puppets all over the place who would go along with it. And let's remember the story of Adolf Eichmann. We did a lot of reporting about Adolf Eichmann on the blog. Adolf Eichmann was a patriotic German who wanted what was right for his country, and he loved to belong to groups. Can you imagine where this is going? So he wanted to drive a nice car. He wanted to live in a nice part of town. He had a Jewish mistress. He didn't mind Jewish people at all. They were wonderful. He loved a Jewish person. It was nothing to do with that. Okay, but he wanted to have a job and a car, and he wanted to have the self-respect of wearing a cool uniform. And he joined the Nazi Party, which is the Q. We have Q, they have the Nazis. So they created this fake populist movement, fake and funded from you know exactly where, okay? Irrefutable. So World War II is whipped up, scripted and whipped up by guess who? The people that make up stories that finagle me into house arrest. It's the same dynasty, the same banking dynasty, okay, with its origins in Germany and England. We need to stay focused on the truth about this situation. So this joiner, let's call him Adolf Eichmann, gets caught up in World War II, which was totally scripted and created. And then things get worse and worse and worse. And when there's a war going on, oh, guess what goes out the window? The rules. And you can pretty much do anything when a war is going. That's why they love having wars, because they can just run around and steal whatever they want, get away with it. People are so wrapped up in other problems that organized crime can just have all the fun they want. So it becomes time for them to amp up the killing, because they always have to amp up the killing, because that's what these things are really about. As much killing as possible so they can take over. That's how they do it, through killing. So it becomes time for them to do a lot more killing during World War II, because that's the goal of these people, to get those high body counts. And then there's Adolf Eichmann working at the prison camp, and he gets his new rules. He's going to have to start killing a lot of people. And what does Adolf Eichmann say? Well, this is my job, and I work for a good government, I guess, and I guess my government thinks that these people are a threat to our well-being. I guess I'm going to have to do this for the good of the state. So he kills people all day for the good of Germany, right? Because he was told a story that these people were ruining his country, and if he killed them, that would be wonderful. See, so he was told a story, and it was his job to believe it. So he killed people all day. Okay, then World War II ends, and he goes and runs off from Europe because of what he did during World War II. And then 20 years, the personal fiefdom of Rico Puppet Master decides they're going to go capture him. The personal fiefdom of Rico Puppet Master sent people out to go get him. Now, Rico Puppet Master was behind the killing. Rico Puppet Master maneuvered him into that situation. Rico Puppet Master, that's what I like to call him. Maybe you can figure out who I'm talking about. And when I say that, I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about a dynasty, okay? A banking dynasty. Okay, so this banking dynasty maneuvered this man into killing all day when he didn't want to. And then he had to go hide from what he did because his government had become so genocidal. So he went to South America. And then, because of the things that happened in World War II, Rico Puppet Master was gifted his own fiefdom, his own country where he could do anything he wanted. And what was the pretext? See, the pretext was provided by Adolf Eichmann, right? Because he was so terrible to all those poor people and he killed them. That was the pretext that Rico Puppet Master needed to get his own fiefdom. You see how his fiefdom works? It's a pretext based country where this banking dynasty gets to do whatever it wants. Okay, so they just went out and caught Adolf Eichmann and put him on trial. This wonderful fiefdom that can do whatever it wants because it has Rico Puppet Master, the richest man in the world, backing up everything they do. So it's the richest country in the world by far, this fiefdom, where they put Adolf Eichmann on trial. Well, without Adolf Eichmann, they wouldn't have won that fiefdom. So it was a wonderful gift from Adolf Eichmann that they were even there. And then they put him on trial. And what does Adolf Eichmann say when he's on trial? He says, I didn't want to kill anybody. I hated killing people. My mistress was Jewish. I had nothing against Jewish people. I just wanted to have a career. I just wanted to have a life. This is what was going on in my country. That's what Adolf Eichmann said. And then they executed him. And the reason I'm telling you his story is because every single person that's upholding the permanent quarantining of me to discriminate against me for being honest with this pretext that they came up with, everyone who's maintaining that is contributing to destroying my life, and they are upholding prison camp rules because understand my situation. I cannot attend a concert by Elvis Costello. I cannot travel. I cannot really have a job. I can't really interact with anything now because I have refused to participate in the human science experiment that not only killed my mother, but left countless people with injuries. People don't even understand what to do about these injuries. And the number of dead, it's official that it's not being reported correctly. So this is the most murderous human science experiment of all time. And all of these corporations, now corporations, remember that word, corporations. The corporations are really like the dukes keeping Rico Puppet Master safe. So the corporations take their rules from Rico Puppet Master clearly because these are insane, genocidal, Nazi prison camp rules. They can only come from that type of person. And if all of the corporations are upholding these genocidal, murderous agendas and pretexts, and there's no proof that there even was a virus of that nature that year. There's no proof. The burden of proof is on them. It's not on me. It's on them. They're saying because they have so much money that I'm a contagion and I'm a threat to the public. How did they even come up with this? How did they maneuver me into a situation where I'm a threat to the public and they're flying around? What are they flying around on those planes of theirs? Because they can do anything they want. If I can't even go to the airport anymore, and they can fly anything they want around in those planes. And I live in a place where very rich people live, and wow, all the flying they're doing out to East Hampton. I would love to know what's in those planes, okay? Because there's a lot of things going on with air travel. They have such control over air travel. They can do anything they want. And now an honest person is discriminated against to the degree that they can't even go to the airport and travel anymore. And they can do anything they want with those planes that they have. Well, wow, they really have the game rigged entirely in their own favor. They have no need whatsoever to follow the law. They can do anything they want. They can kill anybody they want. They can make up any story, and all the corporations will uphold it. See, that's how they control the world. They control the world because you can't run a corporation if you're not in with them. And you won't continue to run a corporation if you're not in with them. And they're saying that Tanster's permanently quarantined, Tanster's blacklisted. Permanently quarantining me it's going to hurt my health. It's calculated to make me lose my sanity. That's a human science experiment to make me, as a person who just regained my health after an entire adulthood of having horrible, horrible chronic sinus infections. I just got my health back and now I'm permanently quarantined. Well, obviously being permanently quarantined by all the corporations and the theaters and the hotels, everything. That's That's to destroy my life on purpose. It's very retaliatory. Okay, so you guys all think you can act like Adolf Eichmann and create all of this murder and death, and this is destroying people's lives. They're killing themselves over it, and all of these things are being done because of all these corporate people and celebrities and all of these people that are upholding this. I understand you guys love to not get them mad at you. I understand. Nobody wants them mad at you, but because nobody wants them mad at us, it's like this. Okay? It's because no one messes with them. Well, we need to start messing with them. This is unbelievable because I am one person in this situation. There are countless others who are being subjected to, like, their own house is like a prison camp now. And all the corporations are upholding it. And I think people need to really appreciate these people that are following the laws, their new laws in the country where nothing makes sense and the healthy are sick and it's wonderful to die or whatever lies they're telling today. And all these people upholding it, I want to remind them that they are behaving exactly like Adolf Eichmann did. Exactly. Adolf Eichmann wanted his career. He wanted his car. He wanted his nice house. He did not want to make anyone angry in the government. Okay? All of you are acting exactly like Adolf Eichmann. And if your rulers stay in power, guess what? They can roll up and execute you guys if they feel like it because they love to kill. It's their favorite thing. It's their go-to thing. It's the rituals. I think they need to do it for their rituals. Look at 9/11. Did everybody hear that there were young agents celebrating that those people died in 9/11? This is not contested. They had people from Rico Puppet Master's own personal fiefdom flew to New York to watch those people die, and then they danced and celebrated, high-fived each other, took all these pictures about how thrilled they were to watch all these people die. I'm saying this because this is what you find out when you find out about Rico Puppet Master's world. They're thrilled when people die. They're thrilled when their rituals come off. That was a huge ritual they did, and they succeeded, but they didn't succeed because everything they did shows who they are, what they are. It was definitely controlled demolitions. There's a lot of names that definitely need to be looked into. No question, they're in on it. And there's no question it all goes back to Rico Puppet Masters. These things need to be dealt with. The reason I'm talking about Adolf Eichmann, and I'm talking about him like this, bizarrely, has everything to do with a transit that happened yesterday. There was a full lunar eclipse. You probably heard about it. What does that mean? A full lunar eclipse is when the sun is the moon and the sun are 180 degrees from each other. They're opposite each other, and the earth is in the middle, and the shadow hides the moon. So I can't believe how aggressive I just was. I can't help it. Anyway, so we had a big lunar eclipse last night, and it was a full moon, and it was along a certain axis, which I'm always talking about. I keep saying the sun is in Taurus. Taurus is values, money, beauty, your possessions, the things that make you comfortable. It's a very homey, cozy kind of feeling. It's flowers and it's pretty, it's feminine. That's Taurus. And I'm an artist. My ascendant is in Taurus. So the opposition occurs also in Scorpio. So there's an axis between Taurus and Scorpio. So the full lunar eclipse last night was about issues that pertain to both Taurus and Scorpio. So Scorpio is secrets, it's spooky, it can be death, rebirth, transformation, letting go of things, it's ethereal. It can be very power seeking and sneaky and secretive. And basically, what's so interesting about my Scorpio situation at the present moment is that my sun is in Scorpio. I was born in November, but it's in the seventh house, which is a place of others. And I have Mercury there too. So, what does that mean? That means that I'm very focused on someone else who's a huge Scorpio. See, because Scorpio is in my house of others. So, my others are Scorpio and my sun is there. So I'm focused on it, and Mercury is somewhat aligned with the sun. So I'm communicating about it. I've been saying this for years because I've been trying to say like that's Napoleon, because Napoleon's ascendant was in Scorpio. And he was such a Scorpio type person, even though, I want to say everybody knows he's a Leo, but of course he's Leo. So, but his ascendant was in Scorpio, which is so him. He was such a Mars Scorpio person. But he had Jupiter there on his ascendant. So it was a very benevolent kind of Scorpio energy with him. So I kept saying, that's kind of Napoleon because I'm so focused on Napoleon. And it's me because my sun is there. So I'm Scorpio too, but it's also a place of enemies. And who are my enemies? My enemies are, I don't want to have to do this. If you guys would all just flip, I'd be so happy. Make my life so easy. Can you guys just all flip? I don't want to fight you. I just want, I, I can't live like this. That's the problem. I would live for them to flip, obviously. But you can't not fight them the way they're trying to kill us. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel I have no choice. I do not want to fight them all day. I feel I have no choice, and I hope all of you will join me and carry that weight because there is no future. They have all of these corporate stooges who do whatever they want. If they want to say the sky is purple polka dot, the corporations will all go along with it. And the schools and everywhere is going to go along with it because they own everything. So all the musicians are going to have to be like Adolf Eichmann's from now on because you guys are upholding these rules. But you have to have careers, you have to make money, you have to support your families. Exactly. We have to change everything. Yes, you do have to support your families. This situation has to change. My point about this, it's like tangent upon tangent. My point is my enemies are very secretive Scorpio type people. Right now, I'm telling you, I'm telepathic with Ellis Costello, who I call Cohen. He's a very Scorpio energy, and what's going on with him is very ethereal, which is also Scorpio. So the astrology always pans out, and then Scorpio's very passionate. It's very like spiritual and kind of deathly and morbid, and then Taurus is all like beautiful and comfortable and jewelry and what you value and your relationships and the things that you love. It's everything I've been talking about. Scorpio and Taurus. That's what I'm trying to say. That all of these issues have been just brewing and brewing and brewing. And even Mercury is in the vicinity. So it involves thinking, it involves media, it involves talking. I've been talking about this. This is all being incredibly accurately betrayed through the astrology happening. What's happening in this project. So all these issues are just bubbling up and they're rising up, that the values need to change, the money needs to change, all of these secrets need to come out. See, that's the sun in Scorpio. Last night's lunar eclipse is an aspect between the sun and the moon in Scorpio. This is the time to look at the secrets, to talk about the secrets, to do something about the secrets, because that's Scorpio. Scorpio is secrets and like secret power. My enemies are very Scorpio. I'm very Scorpio. Napoleon was very Scorpio. I will say Cohen is very Scorpio also. So we're all Scorpios in this. We're very in it to win it, all of us. So I wanted to point that out so you can understand what a Scorpio is. A Scorpio is somebody who's going to plumb those depths, find out what's going on, deal with things. Hopefully, it'll be benevolent. It might not be. Scorpios can be horrible, but if you have a benevolent Scorpio, appreciate them and support them because they're strong. Okay, so the lunar eclipse is the time to expose this. This isn't me talking. This is astrology talking. I mean it. This is the full lunar eclipse of exposing what they're doing. And everyone who is financially beholden to them is going to continue to keep going along with them. But it will be a whole world of Adolf Eichmanns. And they are going to have to live the rest of their lives knowing that they are making people crazy. They are making people commit suicide. People are dying from the human science experiments. All of these things. What's so scary about them is it wasn't enough Adolf Eichmanns. And then they guilt tripped us our whole life over something that had nothing to do with us, as if we should always feel guilty for something. It's all a mind game, obviously. And now the whole world is populated by Adolf Eichmanns who will do anything to keep their job. I understand anything to keep. I get that. But it's a world of Adolf Eichmanns now. And if any of them want to go, oh, well, you knew we were lying, and then they want to come and execute someone over it, well, they'd be in charge and they make all the rules. And this has to change. So this is the time to really focus on that, exposing this, okay? Because it has to be to the point where all the Adolf Eichmanns, and that's the people with the money, they're all Adolf Eichmanns now. Cohen has a song, "We're All Cowards Now." And I like that song. I think that's a great song, and I'm really happy about that song. But my Tanster version, I wish I could write music. I hope one day, but my Tanster version would be "We're all Adolf Eichmanns now." We're all Adolf Eichmanns now, because that's the truth. So now you can't deal with the Adolf Eichmanns because they're everywhere? No, everybody has to change. We can't have a Adolf Eichmann only future. All the people with money are upholding human science experiments. And I was saying this before. During World War II, their pretexts were evil and made no sense. But at least there was almost a logic. There's not even a logic to this. Like, oh, stay home because the celebrity said to, and now you're dangerous. And, it never made sense for a second. And it's just, what I saw was like, wow, who's really hypnotized? That's what I really got out of it. I was like, wow, some people are really hypnotized. You can tell them anything. That's what I learned from the whole 2020 psyop amongst psyops. Like, who's really, there's going to be no reaching that person. I shouldn't laugh about it, but we can't have a world full of Adolf Eichmanns and survive. Like, we have to change. We have to stop being Adolf Eichmanns. If Rico Puppet Master would like to continue being an Adolf Eichmann, well, at least that's who he really is. And at least he's, for once, being seen for what he is. Because all of these Adolf Eichmanns under him, well, they were like kind of maneuvered into it, I would say, most of them, if they are like Adolf Eichmann himself. He did not sign up to kill people. Oh, no. He was maneuvered slowly into that. Does that sound familiar? Because it's the same banking dynasty. This is how they operate. I've been showing that it's been 200 years of these tricks. And then every 60 or 70 years, a new generation comes in that does not know their tricks. But the banking dynasty remembers its own tricks because they don't change them. And I am going to do every single thing I can to show what those banking dynasty tricks are, because then you know it's them. I always know when it's them because nobody else acts like them. It's so easy. When one group is so eccentric, so extreme, so fringe, no one else is like them. So they are just completely, totally, 100% exposed. Certainly, I could see them coming from a mile off. I would love if they would stay away from me as much as possible, because I'm really sick of them. I mean, I'm at a point where I didn't like them to begin with, but now, wow, wow, and I didn't think they could go this far. So I'm just gonna change the subject. I always run myself into circles about this, but it's how I feel, and I do appreciate being able to express myself. So we're coming back to Napoleon's love letters to Josephine. Why am I doing this? Why am I going for a rant about a certain banking dynasty to Napoleon? It's a good question. Because I've been put into this totally bizarre situation, but I am thrilled about it. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not thrilled about it. I just threw me for a loop. So I understood from songs and A Boy Named If that Cohen wanted to be telepathic. I was like, oh yeah, sure, that'd be great. Anyway, I just didn't realize that was possible at all. And that's just, my whole life has been kicked over to Pluto transformation. It's been very transformative, to say the least. And I'm utterly convinced that he is my twin flame and he is Napoleon. How else am I talking to him? How else did he take over my project? How else does he make me champion his issues? I champion his issues because he wants me to. So how could I do that if I weren't telepathic with him? I wouldn't know anything about him. I wouldn't even sympathize with him, to be honest with you. I mean, I feel bad for him. He seems very sad with his songs, but I had to become telepathic with him to understand his perspective. And I have so much sympathy now for him. I really do. I just want good things for him. Anyway, so he told me telepathically that he's Napoleon. And I knew immediately that I can't even tell you. I was like, oh my goodness, of course, duh. But so I want to prove that you can hear Cohen's voice in Napoleon's letters. So at this point in the letters, Napoleon realizes Josephine is not his twin flame. This is not working out. She doesn't really love him. Her patterns are showing him that he made a terrible mistake in marrying Josephine, and he was in a frenzy, and I believe from a spell. But it doesn't have to be a spell. He could have just been in love with her. That's not. I'm just saying he's throwing this twin flame obsession passion at a very unsuitable target. And here's a letter where he's freaking out. And I think you may, I haven't even read the letter. I'm just saying, based on everything that's happened so far, you're probably going to recognize Cohen's voice, just because it's always there. So let's hear this kind of freaking out letter from Napoleon. Josephine, where will this letter reach you? If at Paris, my evil fate is assured. You do not love me anymore. I have nothing left to do but to die. Could it be possible? All the serpents of the Furies are in my breast, and already I only half live. Oh, you, my tears fall. No more repose nor hope. I respect the will and the ineluctable law of fate. It loads me with glory, only to make me feel my misfortune the more bitterly. I shall accustom myself to everything else in this novel state of things, but I cannot accustom myself to esteem you no more. But no, it's not possible. My Josephine's on the way. She loves me at least a little bit. So much pledged love cannot all have vanished in 2 months. I detest Paris, the women, and the lovemaking. That state of affairs is frightful, and your behavior. But should I accuse you? No. Your behavior is according to your destiny. So amiable, so beautiful, so sweet. Must you be the instrument of my despair? The man who shall deliver to you this letter is the Duke of Cirbellone, the greatest lord of this country, who goes to Paris delegated to offer the country's homage to our government. That you, my Josephine. The thought of you was wont to make me happy, but all that is changed now. Embrace for me your charming children. They write me delightful letters. Since I must not love you any longer, I love them all the more. In spite of fate and honor, I shall love you all my life. I have read over tonight all your letters, even the one written in your blood. What feelings did they stir in me? B. Written in her blood? What is that? Okay. I never knew what to do with that one. Okay, so obvious, you know, it's pretty funny. I never looked at them that way. Never occurred to me how, but I knew they were the same. They are the same. I can't believe it. So cool. Anyway, Napoleon lives among us. There you go. There's your proof once again. I'm doing this on the fly. Okay. Very little planning goes into it. Okay. The reason so little planning goes into this is because it's the truth, and I don't have to plan it because I know it's true. Okay. I say things that are very, very, very out there, but then I prove that they're true, and I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. I can't believe it. Seriously, all you Adolf Eichmanns out there, don't be Adolf Eichmanns. Don't uphold Auschwitz rules all over the world because you're backing up the wrong side. We need to cooperate. And I mean, I was at a point where I didn't even care what they did to me just because Napoleon wasn't here. My whole problem is that Napoleon's here. If Napoleon's here, then I have to, do you understand? I have to actually stay here if Napoleon's here. That's my problem. I understand they want to vilify me and get rid of me and all this stuff. I haven't even opposed them that much. I'm like, here I am. I know you want to kill me. Here I am. Because Napoleon's not here. Do you understand? I want to be where Napoleon is. That's me. If Napoleon's not here, I don't really want to be here. That's why I've been acting like this. Okay? It's very simple. I want to be where Napoleon is. Does that make me strange? Yes, that makes me strange. Makes me super strange. But that's my reality. So if Napoleon is here, we have to support him, get behind him, free him, get him out of whatever deal he's in. Everybody has to work with these people to have a career. Is this not clear? And everybody around him has to work with them to have a career. Do you understand? They're all trapped. I get they're all trapped. We're all trapped. We have to all revolt, okay? We have to all revolt and say, no, Rico Puppet Master, we're sick of you. We're sick of you killing our families, okay? You're killing our families, Rico Puppet Master. Oh, my goodness. The next time Rico Puppet Master has another one of his cute stories for us, know exactly where it's coming from. It's coming from that very specific banking dynasty, okay? And the next time they roll out another word for you to get all mad about, bring it right back to that banking dynasty, okay? It's all rolling out from there. Oh, and the next time they drop another one of their fall guys, their Epstein fall guys, know exactly what banking dynasty it's coming from. You see? And let them keep rolling them out. Oh, and what you want to roll out your new health scare or quarantine ideas or things we have to wear on our face. It's all coming from that banking dynasty. And I really hope that this world is going to start to understand its own true interests and bring that right back to where it's coming from. Like a boomerang, bring that right back to the one that's rolling it all out. The proof's not lacking. Proof's very easy to come by. That's easy. The problem is the money system and all these bought people who need money to live just like everybody needs money to live. I get it. But look what they did to Adolf Eichmann. And Adolf Eichmann did not want to be a killer. I don't think you guys want to be killers, but you are actually killers now. You're actually now Adolf Eichmanns because you're supporting a genocidal fascist puppet government that comes from a very specific banking dynasty that has been ruling over us since at least the defeat of Napoleon, and they most certainly were behind the slow, cruel, inhumane murder of Napoleon, where he was finagled into house arrest when he wasn't a criminal in any way. Oh, but they were criminals. They were criminals of the highest order. But Napoleon, who was innocent, was finagled into house arrest. Oh, and I've also been finagled into house arrest. I, who am so innocent, I'm only fighting for humanity and myself, and they get to fly around on their planes, do whatever they want. So they're totally free. They're totally free. And I'm a quarantine for life as a healthy person, which is a kind of human science experiment in itself, just to quarantine someone who's healthy permanently from being able to see their own other half of their soul. And look, that's all I really, I mean, I'm sorry, it's all I'm interested in. I can't help it. I'm just interested in this thing, this twin flame thing. It's the only thing I really care about. And it's why I'm like this. I'm trying to get to my other half. I'm in extreme anguish about not being with him. That's my reality. And I can't do anything else but what I'm doing as long as I'm in this kind of anguish. All of these bizarre things that I do are coming from the anguish that I can't be with my other half. And I'm just doing everything possible to be as close to him. And I can only be close to him by spiritual means right now. And just knowing he's in this world and I can't talk to him or see him, it I, I can't deal with that. Like I can't, oh, I'm just gonna be quarantined as a healthy person forever because this banking dynasty bought everything and everybody. No, they stole everything from everything and everybody. They stole everything from us. Okay? You want to know where everything is? They have it. Okay? Okay, this is the time to really start dealing with this. We know what the problem is. I was very guided to start doing the stream. I'm shocked that I'm still able to do it. But if I am still able to do it, I think there's a lot of hope because someone wants me to keep talking. Hopefully a lot of people. Anyway, so we're going to read Cohen's memoirs right now. And while this isn't quite Napoleon, it's the same personality. And this is somebody who wants to be where the action is. He wants to be powerful. He wants to be with like the important people. He wants to be in the main ring. He's going to be. He's a larger than life person. He's extremely talented. He knows he can't just like stay back in Liverpool. Anyway, so I'm saying that you can see all that in everything he's writing, which is essentially similar to Napoleon. Let's continue. But when you spoke to him about his time at Abbey Road, he'd also describe morning recording sessions with the London Philharmonia, conducted by Otto Klemperer, or an afternoon with Judy Garland in between the long hours, experimenting with the Beatles, recording songs like Tomorrow Never Knows, and then having some tea and biscuits in a thoroughly English fashion. There was very little that you could throw at him that he hadn't already encountered. The way Jeff shaped and balanced the sound was nearly as important as the notes we played and sang. It was also about the last time the attractions and I played together, as opposed to in spite of each other, or even to spite each other. There are many stellar performances on the remaining 3.5 albums that we made together, and discounting Blood and Chocolate as playing with spite was the whole point of that record. We never sounded better as a group than we did on Imperial Bedroom. But even then, it was touch and go. One of the band members wanted the songs to be about his dramas, not mine. one of our drummers was drinking for England? Pete Thomas turned up so late for one afternoon session that we'd begun the song without him and pretty much sketched out the arrangement using a metronome. He tumbled to the door, cackling like a hyena and breathing flammable fumes, but insisting he was ready for the front. I said, "You've got one take, then you're going for a little lie down." He trumped me by playing a sensational drum part for the track that later became Beyond Belief. The song had originally been called The Land of Give and Take, and the chorus was a lot more literal-minded and accusatory. In the land of give and take, you keep your body and your soul. Make no mistake. I can't take much more heartache, so to hell with you, for heaven's sake. Reading it again now, it seems, as it did then, just a little pat, it didn't dig down deep enough. None of the temptations and corruptions in the rest of the lyrics were being forced on the narrator. He was complicit in his own ruin. In the final verse of the rewritten lyrics, I left out one inelegant line, a small, true-to-life detail about a courtship dance, the carnal power struggle. His hands were clammy and cunning. She was suitably stunning, but she says there's not a hope in Hades. All the laddies cat call and wolf whistle, though they dog fight like rose and thistle, getting to the nitty-gritty, just chewing on the gristle. As she staggers to the ladies, waiting for that girl to return from the powder room adds a little to the understanding of the scene. It's just one of those Polaroid mementos that make you shudder in more chastened times. Hate hearing about this stuff. Anyway. Okay, Imperial bedroom, ready for the front, military references, miserable about romance, and dealing with it through promiscuity. So, total Napoleon matchup like always. So we have found Napoleon, we have found all the Adolf Eichmanns, and we have found Rico Puppet Master. The answers are in. Now it's time to expose them, do something about them. Now is the time to have emotions and to change. We need to change. We can't live by Adolf Eichmann prison house rules. No, 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 no. Okay? We're not prisoners. There's another way. Okay? Look within, find the answers, and you will do it because your soul is more important than anything else. What are you going to do without your soul? So what? You have a big car and a big house, and you always say yes whenever they call. Eternity is going to be terrible when they have your soul. Okay? So good night. Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate it.